So over the summer months, I got lazy and did not maintain the battery in my sled. So sure enough, first ride of the season, and the battery is no bueno. And those of you who've seen my other videos know my philosophy is why fix it when you can upgrade it for twice the price? So that's what we're going to do today. So what we have here is a Noco Lithium powersports battery. Obviously, it's a lot smaller than the original battery, and it's a lot lighter. But to be fair, it is a lower capacity battery. This lithium battery is a 4 amp hour, whereas the old battery is a 20 amp hour. But the cold cranking amps on the old battery is 270, whereas with the lithium, it is 500 amps. So this battery packs a lot more punch. It just won't run as long, but for our application, which is strictly starting of the sled, it should be fine. It's not like we're running winches and sound systems and big light bars and that sort of thing. So it should work just fine. Obviously, size difference is noticeable, but also, this is kilograms, by the way. So let's say that's almost 6 kilograms. This is, let's say, 1 kilogram. So, huge weight advantage. Now, I'm not a mountain sledder. It's mostly trail riding, so weight isn't a huge issue for me. But why carry it if you don't need it? So cost-wise, the stock battery from the dealer is $190. Now, obviously, you might be able to source that from an aftermarket supplier for a little less than that. The comparable lithium battery, so not this one, the 4 amp hour, but an actual 20 amp hour lithium battery, would be over $300. So that gives you an idea of the difference in price just because of the technology. Now, because we don't need 20 amp hours, we're able to go with a smaller capacity lithium and still get the cranking amps that we want. So we can save a little bit of money there. But even still, this battery is more expensive than the stock battery. Most aftermarket places I found were selling this battery for around the $230 to $240 price range. Something else to consider in your pricing is that if you don't already have a lithium battery charger, you really should get one just for maintaining this battery in good condition. Obviously, it gets charged by the machine while you're running, but over the summer you're going to want to maintain it because lithium batteries are a little more sensitive to not being properly maintained. I was able to get battery, 2 amp charger, and this little adapter thingy off of Amazon for just around $300 and change total delivered to my door. Now, what is this little adapter thingy for, you say? Well, you're just going to have to keep watching to find out. Once you've received your battery, the first thing you want to do is charge it overnight. They come about 80% charged, but you're going to want to plug it in with a proper lithium charger and top it up overnight. The second step is fitment. Obviously, it's a lot shorter than the stock battery, so it's not going to fit securely into the stock battery holder. Noco actually provides in the box with the battery these plastic adapter pieces that are you receive 5 of them of different sizes that can be mixed and matched, and they snap together. So with these 3 here, we can put together the proper adapter for our battery. Now, our new battery will fit securely in our stock battery holder. Now, the next step is determining how we need to connect our terminals. This battery comes with these fancy terminals that allow for multiple ways of connection. We need to go on top of the battery, and we could go on this post right here, but it's actually going to be a little high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these fancy lugs from the top of the battery. So with those removed, we can put our machine cables directly onto these lugs here, and they'll be nice low profile. They won't stick up above the battery. Now over to the machine. Obviously I already had my stock battery out, so now I'm just going to drop the new battery in, and just to make it a little easier, I'm going to put it in adapter pieces first, and then set the battery on top, snap it into the adapters, and then we're ready to hook it up. Now, as far as hooking the battery up to the cables on the machine, the positive side is pretty straightforward. It's just going to bolt right on. The negative side, however, the tab on the cable has this little L shape on it. So we're going to need to zip that off for it to fit in there properly. So I'm just going to take a zip disc on my grinder and nip that off and maybe round up the edges a little bit, and then it can just bolt right on. So we've got that all cleaned up and ready to go. She should just bolt right in there. Okay, so I got the terminals tightened down. One thing I did find is that the way that I'm hooking it up here without those additional lugs, I did have to straighten this tab. It was on a 90 to the cable. I had to straighten it out a little bit, so the cable comes out a little bit and makes a curve here, but it seems to fit okay. It doesn't interfere with putting the side door on. I'm going to put a little bit of anti-corrosion grease on top of the terminals, and we're ready to button it back up. This steel shield that goes over the battery, these tabs right here were bent down before. I just had to bend them flat because the top of this battery doesn't have the same kind of notches in it as the stock one. So pretty simple, just had to straighten those out so they sit flat on top of the battery. And there it is, all secure and ready to hit the snow. Now I want to be sure to take good care of this new battery, especially during the off season, which I did not do with my stock battery, which is why I'm having to replace it. So I got a Genius 2 charger, and this also works as like a battery tender or maintainer, so I could plug this in over the summer and just let it take care of the battery. But I wanted to make it super simple to do. Instead of using the alligator clips that come with the charger, I bought this adapter cable to permanently connect to the battery, and this would quickly connect to the charger. And when I was telling all this to my buddy Corey, he said, "Are you going to wire that adapter to the existing plug on the machine or just take it straight to the battery?" And I was like, I had forgotten that these machines have a battery tender plug already on them that connects down to the battery cables. So I went back to the Noco site where I had remembered seeing this little thing, which is basically an adapter that goes from Noco's connector to the connector that is on the machine. Now, it's a pretty tight fit, and with any luck, maybe it's going to hold on and stay there permanently. You basically plug that in there, and now you can plug your battery tender in right there. And I checked, actually, with that plug on there, you can put the side panel on. So if it stays on there, it should be a good little setup. But if by chance your machine does not have a battery tender plug already on it, I'd recommend going this route, because the easier you make it to hook the tender up, the more likely it is you're going to do it, and the less likely it is you're going to have a dead battery. So I'm going to throw the side panel on this puppy. We'll push it outside and fire it up. Okay, here goes. First start with the Noco Lithium battery. So that wraps it up for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please consider subscribing and hit that like button. And thanks for watching.